Hey, how you doing? It's Clayton Tierney from the First Home Buyer Club. Just wanted to talk today, Financial Fridays in regards to pools. And what I see is the big costs that we most haven't factored in. So I've wrote up a little report, and as I started writing and researching, I discovered more and more things. So I want to chat to it about the start. Now, um, don't get me wrong. I love swimming in a pool, and if they're in the backyard, it's great because you don't have to go anywhere, but there's a lot more costs involved with owning your own pool than what most people take in consideration. The first thing I'm going to talk about is this. Let's say you get into your house and you buy a pool. Generally, most of the time, you're going to have to spend your own cash to use it. So here's the first part I discovered. If you borrow $30,000, obviously in a personal loan, and set it up over, say, 10% over 7 years, by the time you pay that pool off in full, it's going to cost you approximately $41,834.98. That's the first big cost because, ultimately, everyone knows what I talk about when I help my clients into a home. I want to help you create wealth and pay down that home faster. And one thing that stops that is personal debt that doesn't help us get forward. So as I said, pools are great, especially in summertime because you just walk out the back door and just jump in. However, one thing I also discovered online that approximately 16% of all people in Brisbane own pools. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, the first thing I thought about is that pretty much nearly 1 in 6 people, or nearly 1 in 5, I should say. So it's over 1 in 5. So 1 in 6 people own a pool. So if you think about that for a minute, you'd like to think that, generally within 3 houses either side of you, on both sides of the road, there's at least one person that owns a pool near you. Just become friends with them, buy them lunch or something. Like, utilize the benefits without having to fork out all the cash. Here's some other costs that I noticed. So on average, a pool uses up to 30% more electricity. So what that means, and I researched this in 2017, and obviously costs of electricity have gone up, but in 2017, on average, a yearly electricity bill was approximately $1,576. 30% extra, that takes that up to $2,251, which means that $676 extra per year is used on electricity. Here's the other costs I noticed. Pump costs. They sit around $1,150 per year to run that pool. Heating costs around $500 for electric heating inside a pool to use over the year. Water evacuation. So you lose approximately 160 litres a day in water, which means over the term of a year, you're going to lose around 58,000 litres of water. Professional cleaning. So a professional cleaner costs around $100 every time it comes out. And, if you get it done once or twice over the year, there's $100 or $200. And then obviously I discussed before, electricity is $676 extra per year. Now, there's other costs associated with owning a pool, and here's a few of them. Although you shouldn't expect to have to replace too many of these in the first, 5 or 10 years. A pump, which according to this report that is 2 years old, costs approximately $1,000. Lights around $320. And electric heater, if you need to replace it, will cost anywhere between $4,500 to $6,000. As you can start seeing, we're slowly increasing all these costs on top of each other that we didn't realize. So, just the cost to run the pool estimated around $2,500 a year, and that's before anything breaks. Now, there are ways to save money with the pools. Obviously, you can buy covers for the pools to stop the water from evaporating. You buy a salt pool over a chlorine, and then things like solar can assist as well. All of these are extra costs that will continue to bring things up. Waterfalls, they look really great in a pool area, but they cost a lot of money too. One, for running electricity, and water evaporates quicker through the waterfall itself. So here's a few numbers that I analysed, because I took it that one step further, and I thought to myself, okay, if you use this $41,000 that it's going to cost you to buy and pay off the pool, plus the $2,500 a year, how much is that going to work out to be? And over the 7 years, what it's looking like costing is around $71,000. Now, without going too technical, I worked out an estimate of how much that would benefit on the home loan. And what I discovered was that the total of the interest that you'd pay, the pool you'd pay, plus the running costs over that term, over the 7 years, if you then invested that money back into the home loan, that you would say that the cost slash saving, because it's obviously it's both, because it's going to cost you this money plus the money you could have saved by paying off the mortgage, will equate to approximately $195 a week. So the first question I'm going to ask you, because all these bills start to add up, and then the cost of action versus cost of inaction is a pool really worth $195 per week for you? Because here's the thing, like for me personally, I think of that and I go, well, if you would contribute an extra $195 into your mortgage, that would probably knock off on a $450,000 home loan somewhere in the vicinity of 8 to 10 years off your mortgage. Now, picture this: is a pool really worth 8 to 10 years of your mortgage? For me, I'd say no, but everyone is their own person, and I don't want to dictate how you live your life. I just want to help you make those decisions that can do it on your terms. So if you want to get the report that I've done on buying a pool, the costs of pools, and action versus inaction, just comment pool in the comments, and later today we'll tidy it up and send it across. All right, guys, that's me for Financial Fridays. Enjoy your weekend. For some of us, we're going to get to go out and at least sit down and have a coffee at a cafe or have lunch somewhere. But, make the most of the sun and enjoy the time we can with our family before we get into it. All right, guys, thanks very much. See you later.